Like nature valley, still got time to get my glass up. It's so simple. Hey, if you just relax.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, it's a voice box.
Is it?
Hey,
What up, hi boys? Enjoy the KAIIAS.
top swami.
This is goyz,
Say two.
and we're just on a mission to showcase women's LGBT culture.
You heard my daughter.
Around the world.
Exactly. We got a guest today. Please introduce yourself. Tell your
Pronouns.
how you identify, all the good stuff they want to know.
Hi everyone, my name is KAIIIAS. I am 22. I am a gay man. Surprise. I am a dancer, a poet, and just a multifaceted being. Just kind of drifted on.
I need an explanation. I just want to say, like, you know, I'm all here for the kids. All day.
We know.
I'm not trying to hit on them. I'm not just.
Well, things are already complicated with our roles already. So you seeing a gay woman liking a gay man is gonna really confuse you guys. So we're just gonna
Technically, that's a straight compliment.
It is.
I mean,
Pretty much.
I never tried it.
Wow.
Alright. Let's start with these icebreakers, alright? See the word above. And I don't care if you didn't go to one of those schools you had to choose.
Varsity.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's case me out.
Good luck. Good luck. Should have protected me. I'm just saying. I ain't doing it. Anyways, Sunday fun day or Friday happy hour?
I know Sunday, fun day.
But you know how Friday nights used to be out.
Okay.
More Sunday fun day.
Sunday.
I'm not really a drinker, you know.
So what do you do? You know what? You know what?
I'm just saying.
For Sunday fun day, you know, family, enjoying yourself, barbecue. You know, Sunday fun day.
Okay, I really need to know this, and I don't want you to mess it up because I'm gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you based on your answer.
Is this supposed to be a judgment free zone?
Well, it's not.
Just this movie.
That's the judgment free zone.
KAIIAS, what is on your fish sandwich?
Oh, I just had one yesterday. AKA raisin bread.
Yes.
Basic.
Yes.
Wahoo.
Okay, go ahead.
Mahi is too soft.
Right.
Tartar sauce, coleslaw.
Ooh.
We're just leaving it like that. You know, we're gonna leave it like that.
Alright.
That's a good sandwich. I mean, I would have went with a cheese, but you know,
I can still eat it.
Yeah,
you know.
That's not a sandwich you turn your nose on.
So you can stay for a while. You can stay for a while. So we want to get into like, what's your story? What's your coming out story?
So my coming out story was actually pretty basic. I just woke up one morning. I was 14. I woke up and I was a bit like, why am I doing this? You know, I kind of woke up and I was like, you know, I'm already cold yet. You know, I'm already cold and I'm already living that life. So it's like, why don't I just embrace it? And I said, as one person, I was in England, because that's why I went to secondary school. And I said, one person comes up to me and asks me, I'm just going to tell them flat. And luckily that one day someone came up to me, they asked me that first day, I went into science, came out, my entire year was outside my class. And they were all like, congratulations. My teachers were like, congratulations. My mom, that same day, my mom happened to ask me. And my mom was just a very, very free spirit. I grew up in a very spiritual household. So she was a bit, for her it was more of just, she grew up in Bermuda, so just kind of like understanding the safety. I feel like with most times when you come out, you know, you have to be respectful of your parents. Because, you know, we had our entire life to think about and come to grips and understand what we were, and so them would just happen. So and they are gonna have to be the person to answer questions. So, you know, the first year was a bit awkward, but you know, you have to give space when space is due. And ever since then, she's my my best friend, you know, that's my baby.
Aw, so you like that?
Hey, Mom.
You sound really sweet.
You know, we know about this.
Of course. But I feel like we have to understand that it's a lot for them to digest. Like, we came out a certain day.
Exactly.
Because it's our identity, but it's theirs too. And you don't want your parents, someone else to know over your parents, you know? You want them to, yes, he or she is.
And you know what? In Bermuda, especially being as small as it is, there are too many stories where people run to your family and tell them this and tell them that before you've even had the chance to go
And I think
above
that's
that,
the
you know what I
most
mean?
disrespectful.
It's so, don't pull anybody out of the closet. That is really disrespectful.
I mean, like, in some breaths, I'm like, you know, a lot of the people who used to drag me through the drag. You know, one person came up to me that was like, you know, I always knew it. And it's like, you know, for me, that's not a compliment.
Like, what? Yeah.
It's not that I was ever hiding who I was. It's just because it just became, you know, I feel like people notice it before you notice it. And when people start pointing it out, and, you know, especially parents in Bermuda, they were ruthless. It was like Richard.
I'm telling you, they want to know, tell me about my child.
That happened to me to the point where, you know, we moved to England because my mom, she just wanted me to have a fresh child.
Oh, that's awesome. What part of England do you live in?
I lived in Kingston for about 6 years, and I moved to Liverpool for 2 years.
Oh,
She likes a little UK.
I live in
Where?
East London.
Well, I'm Southeast.
South?
Kingston, sorry.
Oh, right. But see, you know what? Those areas are so quiet.
Yeah.
Where London's so busy all the time, very much.
I fell in love with London because of Camden Market.
Can't go wrong.
Camden Market.
You know
Is
what?
that the first place I saw that cultures, like, that's for me, it showed me that that different cultures could be cohesive.
Absolutely.
Right next to, you know, the Chinese restaurant, right next to that's kebab, right next to, and there's so many different cultures. You go and get this, you go get this, you meet so many different people. It makes you realize, before I left, I was so ignorant.
What was so small, and as a Korean, we have to get outside of
We
it
have
in
to.
order to know how life really works.
We have to.
I want to tell you, this ain't it.
This ain't
Bermuda's nice.
Just right, don't get me wrong, Bermuda's
It's
beautiful.
lovely.
beautiful.
It's always going to be home.
It's time.
But you have to branch out because people are so close-minded because they haven't lived anywhere else. They haven't seen anything different. You know, those trips to New York every weekend, they don't come. Sorry.
Listen.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah,
Right?
it always feels like it's some barriers also because I think everyone in the LGBT community were very creative individuals.
Mhm.
And I don't know what we're doing, but whatever we're doing, it's always something big and huge. So yeah, dancing. I saw that video on Instagram.
Hello.
I watched it a few times actually. So she had never seen it. So we have put it up. He'll be at it in my house. This is after asking me to be on the show, so I wanted her to, you know, see you. Beautiful. Everything about it was like, I felt Tiana Taylor a lot. So she's sweating. I'm
Stop
so
it.
I felt everything.
Just a little tay-tay.
Hey. Talented. You all and on the rocks and like, because you're showcasing where you're from, as well as yourself.
And you know what's crazy? I filmed that video a year after I first moved back, and I haven't been in Bermuda for 8 years.
Oh, God.
So I came back, I was just so comfortable with myself. I was like, I'm not getting back in the closet. I refused.
No.
So I just,
I know who I am.
I know.
I guess I'm brave for them.
But you know, when you leave, Bermuda is so scary. Because as soon as you land, everyone knows, oh, KAIIIAS landed. You know, as soon as you land, everyone knows you landed, everyone knows what you're doing.
Well, I mean, I've been secretly back for like a month.
For now.
It's
So they get a little lift.
like,
Yeah.
honestly, I haven't posted anything on Instagram or anything related to being her, which is it's a hard task because you know you're having fun with your friends and stuff, and you want to post, but I'm like, no, we can't do it. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I understand. Like for me, coming back when I filmed that project, it was just a very much a relief. It was like a release. I know. I filmed that right across from C-Mart. All the guys sitting up from C-Mart, they saw me. They came down. I showed them the video. I said, they like this.
Damn.
I'm sure.
And that's
I was like, let me just take it to my heart. She's good.
It's something. Because I know it's hard. I know it's hard being you guys sometimes.
Mm.
Like, it has to be. Because I think the worst that we get is, sir, Some people call me sir, and it's
I
like
mean,
I want to push my
guys-
tits out a little bit more because I'm.
I mean, you get the occasional dude that wants to beef with you because he feels like you want to be a man, and I'm
That is
like,
disgusting.
bro, if I wanted to be a man, it's 2021. I could be a man.
But
Like,
it is.
let's not be silly about it.
It's not about us wanting to be a man or you wanting to be a woman.
This is who you are.
We are allowed to be masculine and feminine. It is not, you know.
It's definitely an energy thing. I mean, I definitely believe that feminine and masculine traits are energy. I feel like, some days, even, hetero, cisgender women, some days they may wake up and want to wear a pair of trousers.
Hello.
A pants
A pair of
suit.
This is not the
Yeah.
60s,
Yeah.
baby.
I've done so much research.
Yeah.
Let me pause. I've done so much research on just about how with society things shift so much. I mean, heel, like for example, high heels. Back in the day, Napoleon, men used to wear heels to show their dominance, to tower over, people, especially if they're short. The color pink, back in the day, the medieval times, they used to wrap boys in pink, represents blood and war, and that became a color. And girls were blue for innocence, purity. So, over time, things just shift.
Yeah.
Even dresses and all the shoulder pads, all that stuff that are deemed as feminine. They were all masculine, so it just shows that gender is a social contract.
Yeah, it is. I think it's very fluid. You know what I mean? And whoever you are, wherever you feel like that day, you kind of just go with it.
You flow with yourself.
Oh, exactly. Go with the flow of self.
We want to actually get into a topic with you, a spontaneous topic. All we need is the yellow glue.
Okay. Now, the good old yellow glue. Pretty good. I need another beverage.
Okay. I might shake it. Okay.
Sorry about the handwriting.
Do you think that the LGBT community is not equally respected / accepted to the heteronormative individuals? Let me read this one more time. I definitely don't. But I can.
Yes, and we need someone to come get this bill.
I mean, for our generation, I'm very blessed. We're very blessed to be in a generation that is way more spiritually inclined and just open-minded. But when it comes to certain things, just, with our relationships being taken seriously, I feel like that's what really holds weight. It was just kind of being with, when you're doing gender-specific jobs. For example, a man wanted to work at a nail salon. I feel like opportunities in areas that are gender specific, we do get a lot of backlash. But when I feel like with pop culture and media and everything, I feel like we run.
Everything.
When it comes to pop culture and it comes to setting trends, because we have to be adapted. Like we have to know how to turn what we have into something that especially like the ballroom culture and everything like that. I'm getting to it again. I'm there. But especially with that, it just shows us that how back in the day, only 40 years ago, many of us were forced to do jobs like sex work just to make ends meet or just to be accepted. We had to create these whole events just to feel like we are seen and a part of society. I mean, and that's 40 years ago, 50 years ago. It's not that, society likes to make everything feel like it's been years ago.
Yeah, that was the other day. Like,
It was literally
You know what I'm
the
saying?
other day. So I think with how society sees us, I feel like we're always the underdog. However, people still pick inspiration from us. And in some ways that is a form of power because we do influence fashion, media, pop culture.
Exactly. All you gentlemen out there rocking name brands, who you think made them?
Gianni Versace, come on.
I think we're a bunch of misfits, and it's hard for us because we're isolated. Or we have to be on this stage. We have to be different from everybody.
Yeah.
We're not needed to be. Our true self is different.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's accepting people's differences, but reaching out for the similarities. And I think that's where we have the biggest problem. You know what I mean? We're trying to make each other so much more different than we are because we want the same things.
Yeah, we do want the same things, and it's more about just kind of having those conversations. I mean, with me, I just kind of project myself as I feel that day. I don't put any, pressure on myself. But, I understand that people in my community do face certain discriminative actions that even if I'm immune to them, they still happen. I mean, even in the gay community, we are segregated.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing, right?
Yeah.
Why is it like that? Like this is part of what Goyz is about, to bring us together so we can all be one community and understand each other within the community as well,
Have that conversation.
Yeah, open it up.
So we have Tam. She actually works with me.
Okay.
She had some questions for everybody. She wants to know if you're single or you're not single. But if you're single, are you single?
Or just single? Because we all know a single and single are two different things.
Single.
Let the people know.
I am single. I just don't feel any pressure, to be honest. I'm just kind of living life as it comes, fixing on myself, doing what I need to do, check out that bag,
Right.
suitcase.
When you saying
Hey.
When you saying
Literally, so
hello.
it's just not about, I feel like right now, relationships are beautiful and it's something that, it's a movement. And it's all about appreciating that moment. Sometimes that moment is forever, sometimes that moment is just a second, but you know what, that person was there for a reason.
You see,
Yeah.
we're not heavy on sex. Calm down. Like everything's about.
And you know what? That's the thing, right? Why is everything in the gay realm related to sex? People don't see outside of the sexual premise. Like, we are human beings who want love and affection and intimacy, not just smashing everything that's walking. Like,
But
are we barbarians?
because we had to, because that's what they know us for. Because the only time they saw us is when we was on our laps.
Right.
Or it's gonna ass up.
We talked about it yesterday. The only thing that separates us from heterosexuals is our sex.
That's
the
it.
only thing. So
That's
the only
it.
thing that when they see us, the only thing they think is sex.
Yeah.
And so our sex is different. Like most of us, we didn't have sex every night. Goodness.
Speak for yourself.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
To be honest, and you know what? There's people who within our community who have religions. There's people within our community who, I'm pro-sex.
Do you think?
But, for me personally, I feel it's an emotional thing.
I don't think I've said a curse word on this entire show, but I just want to say it as fuck with you. Like I had to say it.
Thank
Fuck
you.
with you.
I fuck with you guys too.
Do you want to take time of this?
Should I take it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming through this ensemble for one, because I'm feeling that. But we appreciate you coming and opening yourself up to this experience, because it does take a lot for anybody to come and sit on camera and talk and let people into your personal life. So we really appreciate you coming, and we have to have a drink afterwards. We appreciate you.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
You guys want cheers? Well,
Cheers.
cheers.